Alright guys, here's my well, and I put this pitcher pump on the end just to see what would happen when I pumped it a little bit. And I ran into two things. First is one that I kind of expected. The water's still kind of gross. I can't say gross, just dirty water. Like I said, I expected that, and I'm expecting to pump it for quite a while before it clears up. But the other thing that I found out, which is kind of bad news, you guys saw how much water was coming in, or I told you how much water was coming into the hole while I was digging. I mean, Audrey and I had a really hard time keeping up with it, bailing it out with the 5-gallon bucket. But with this little pitcher pump, I can pump my well casing dry. Yeah. I know it has a little bit to do with the fact that it's getting broke in, the water channels are being established through the gravel pack and so on, but I expected a little better than this. You know, I can work with it, I can do that. I'm hoping it'll get better, but right now I'm worried. Yeah, in fact, I had to go over and say a little prayer to calm down a bit. I'm worried. But stick with me. I'll do my best to show you what's going on as it goes. Alright, so I've been pumping for about an hour now, off and on intermittently, and the water has become a lot more clean. So that part's making me feel better. It also seems to be rushing into the hole a little better, but I haven't done a timing test again. The last timing test I did was about, well, what did it end up being? I was pumping about 5 gallons a minute, and I pumped it dry. And I figured, when I went back and tested how quickly it took to fill it back in, I figured that it was about 2.5 gallons a minute, the water flowing in. So that's less than I expected and less than I want, but it might work. And it seems like it might be filling in faster as I pump, like it might be creating channels in there, if that's a thing, and coming through faster. So crossing my fingers as I go, we'll see what happens. But anyway, it makes me feel a lot better. Look how much cleaner that water is. It's still not clean yet, but it's a lot better. Okay guys, we're almost done. The water is clear, and I've been pumping water for a pump test. Or I guess it's called a bailer test. I'm bailing the water out of the bottom with my hand pump. And the purpose is to find out what the flow rate is. So, as I've been pumping the water to make it clear over the last few days, the flow has increased, and I am somewhere between 3.5 and 4 gallons a minute. And to do this bailer test, I have to pump for at least an hour, and I am about 25-30 minutes now. So, halfway. My arm's going to be tired. Anyway, it's seeming really positive. I think it's going to work out. The water smells clean. We'll get it tested after this bailer test. Then it's all a bunch of paperwork, and I'm done.
Gotta put a real pump on it, though.
Oh, huh?
Gotta put a real pump on it, though.
Well, yeah, gotta put a real pump on it. This is just to bail it out. Alright, last step. Water samples. I just filled these bottles up just now. This one is bacteria. This one is nitrates. We'll see if they pass, but they're good and clear. Look at how clear those are. Well, it's hard to tell on the screen, but there you go. I made a little bit of a mistake. I wanted to show me pumping the water into these, but I'm just too excited. I filled them up already. And the one that tests for bacteria had a little bit of stuff in it, so dumping it out and filling it up again, that's the wrong way to do it. So, anyway, I just pumped it slow out of my hand pump here. Pumped until my water was clear, and then I filled these up. Well, I'm back, standing in front of the well again. Hanging out kind of in the cold before this big storm system comes in. It's supposed to be coming in for the Thanksgiving weekend. So, sent the samples to the lab. They came back. Nitrates were good. Somehow the well water was E. coli positive. They didn't give me a good indication on how much, but any amount is not good. I talked to the technician there, and he was saying that it's probably because I didn't sanitize the well or bleach the well after I installed everything. He said that's super common to get E. coli if you don't bleach the well after you install everything inside. So, yeah, chagrin. But, I've done a really good job to install everything that's going to be inside the well. And I've bleached it good. I've actually done it twice. And right now I'm pumping the water till it's clear and we can do a second test. I'll show you kind of what it looks like. How does that sound? Preface, this is my attempt at an off-the-grid system, and it's the first phase of it, the first parts. So, enjoy. Alright, it rains here. If you didn't know that already, that's why everything looks so muddy and disgusting. Okay, we're gonna look inside first. So, depending on the lighting here, you can see that there's two pipes. This one here is the top to my pitless adapter, and the one next to it is a 1/2 inch line that goes to my 12-volt pump. This one is going to be my backup, and I'm hoping that maybe I can get some sort of human-powered pump to run it, and hence the larger line. That way I can draw a little more water even if it's less pressure. But the small line is for my 12-volt pump. Close that up there. Comes out my sidewall here. And this is my temporary rig, just sitting on top of my truck battery. Yeah, isn't that beautiful? Anyway, and it's just pumping the water out over there. This is a 3.5 gallon a minute pump, but since it has to draw up the well like it does, it's only pumping just over 1 gallon a minute. So, what's my plan from there? Well, eventually, I want to enclose all of this space, first of all, to get a good well house going, and then I will pump the water into a big holding tank, somewhere between 200 and 500 gallons. I haven't sized it yet. Anyway, it'll pump slow. At 1 gallon a minute, it'll take quite a few hours to fill a 500 gallon tank, most of a day. But that's okay. It can putter in the background, filling constantly. This well will supply all the water I want at 1 gallon a minute. It'll fill that big tank, and then anytime I want water in the house, I can turn on the faucet and it'll draw from the tank. However many gallons a minute I have on that other end. So any size booster pump will do. That's my plan, and I'm sticking to it. We'll have to draw some samples here. So this is not me taking samples. I lost the footage for the rest of this video. Yeah, it's a really big letdown. And we're back doing our final packing and stuff in our previous homestead. And I thought, well, I'll just try to do a quick, very sad synopsis of what happened to finish off the well. So, second test went in, and everything's clean. We don't have the E. coli. The extra flush cleaned out the E. coli, and no other issues with any other bacterial residue or anything. So nothing harmful in the well. Everything checks out there. We did have a lot of go around with the state. That's why this video has been so slow. They're legally, a homeowner or a landowner can dig a well for their property, but they highly discourage it and they make it very difficult. And so I've been doing a lot of proving and a lot of talking and a lot of negotiating just to show that I've done everything right. But in the end, I did everything right, so that's good. We're in the final stages. I don't have that final, beautiful, everything checked out page, but really it's just in the filing process. So whenever they get to look at it and give it the stamp of approval, that's what it's going to look like. So no worries there. Everything's good with the county. I've been able to turn in all of my plans for my building permit application. So that's in the works. It's going to be another month though, January, before it's done. January. And yeah, so we came back. We're working on getting our previous homestead listed so we can get it sold. Everything packed up, and we'll go put it in a storage unit until the house is built. Yay! This is the modern part of modern homesteading. And yes, I'm not being attacked by Indians or eaten by wolves, but I think going through all of these regulations might be very similar. Let's see if we survive the first winter. Anyway, good news. I've got to tell you this last part. We're up to 1,000 subscribers, and it's all because of you. And those of you who are watching, and those of you who hit subscribe, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do. Let's get up to 2,000. Awesome. Well, I should sign off here, and thank you all for watching our video. If you haven't seen the first part or the second part of digging a well by hand, I'll try to leave a couple links right next to myself here and then in the description below. So go ahead, take a look at them and watch my other videos as well. And as always, thanks for taking this journey with me on Simple Ground.